In the previous video, we saw what is box plot or box and whisker chart, and we saw the whole theory part of it. Now in this video, I'll be showing you how to create this kind of box and whisker chart. But before that, let us see that what are the uses of box and whisker chart and what are the advantages and disadvantages. Let us first of all see what are the uses of a box and whisker chart. So box plots are used to analyze data spread and variability. The common uses are comparing the exam scores of different classes. So let's say we are having three divisions and yeah, we want to compare their exam marks or exam scores, then we can definitely do it with the box plot. So in which particular range you are having more number of marks for each of the class, so that we can see very well over here. Then we can also focus on the salary distribution across the various departments, quality control measurements, patient recovery times, and we can also compare the performance across various groups. It also helps answer which group has highest median, or median, as I showed you in the last video, that median means the middle point. So suppose if you are having 15 values, so whichever is the middle value, that is known as median. Which data set is more spread out? Are there any outliers? Is the data skewed? Now see, what do you mean by the skewed data? The skewed data means the distribution is not symmetrical. Most of the values are normally concentrated on one side, while a smaller number of values, they are very extreme values. Okay, so normally what happens that when we create a line chart, then your line chart is going more towards that particular skewed value. Okay, it can be left skewed, it can be right skewed also. So these are the uses of the box plot. Now let us see the advantages. First advantage is this, that it shows the data distribution clearly. So we can very well see what is the median, what are the two different kind of quartiles, that is the first quartile, third quartile, and we can see the spread out very easily. It also identifies the outliers. So whatever the extreme values are there, because of which our data is skewed, so those extreme values are easy to detect. Then it is good for comparing the multiple groups. So as I said that we want to compare the marks of three classes, yeah, so that we can do it very easily over here. It summarizes the large data efficiently. So we may have, let's say, 1000 values or 2000 values. We should not worry. You can easily create a box plot over here. And it is also useful in the statistics and research. Then what are the disadvantages of box and whisker chart? The first disadvantage is this, that we cannot see the exact value. Okay, so it just gives you a summary part. What is the median, what is the first quartile, third quartile, etc. This chart may be confusing for beginners, because the beginner has to understand first of all a little bit of statistics, and then it will be easy for him or her to understand this chart. Not ideal for small data sets. So as I've already discussed in the advantage is that it works very well for the large data set, and it does not show the detailed distribution shape. One of the video I've already shown you how to create a histogram. So unlike histogram, here in box and whisker chart, it does not show the frequency patterns. And also it is limited storytelling for the non-statistical audiences, because this chart is little bit, I would say, hard to understand. That's why many people, they avoid this chart and they prefer the simpler charts. But definitely in this video, I'll show you how to create a very simple box and whisker chart. So after all these advantages, disadvantages and uses, now let us create a box plot or box and whisker chart. So here I'm having sample data. Let us assume that these are the sales figures of three products, product A, product B and product C. Now if we want to create a box and whisker chart, then we have to select this whole data set. Then I have to go to the insert tab, and in the insert tab I have to click this button, that is the histogram button. I have to click it. Along with the histogram Pareto chart, we also have here box and whisker chart. So we click on this box and whisker chart, and now you can see that we are having here the box and whisker chart. We can click this chart, and then I can click on the plus sign. I can go to first of all this legend, because we don't have here legend. So I go to the legend, I click the arrow here, and then let me put it on the top area. So this is our legend, where we can see that this blue color it is for product A, orange color it is for product B, and this gray color it is for product C. Now what we do that here we place some data labels. So data labels, we can place it on the right hand side, left hand side, above, below, etc. So let me put it on the left hand side. Let's say for this product A, this 45 is the minimum value. So if I go for here, the product A, so suppose if I want to see the minimum value is 45, maximum value is 120. This is your first quartile, 51.5, and 65.75 is the third quartile. So this I've already explained you in the previous video. You can go through that previous video, how to calculate the first quartile, third quartile, or it is also known as lower quartile and upper quartile. So here we can see all these values. Now you can see that in this particular product A, this 120 is outlier. This is upper outlier, and here in the product C, this 30 is the lower outlier. Now how this outlier was calculated? So for that purpose, we are having here one formula, that is, if I want to calculate the lower outlier boundary, then it is equal to Q1, that is the first quartile, minus 1.5 times the IQR. What is IQR? This also I have explained you in the previous video, that is the interquartile range. And if I want to calculate the upper outlier boundary, then it is equal to Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. 120, how it is outlier? Let's say I want to calculate the upper outlier. So it is equal to 65.75 plus 1.5 multiplied by IQR. Now what is IQR? IQR is equal to Q3 minus Q1. Q3 is the upper quartile and Q1 is the lower quartile. So it is equal to 65.75, which is my Q3, minus the lower quartile, that is 51.5. So this 51.5, I place it over here. So let us calculate this value. So here the upper outlier boundary for that product A is equal to 87.125. So any value which is above 87 will be considered as an outlier. So in our example here, you can see that we are having here this 120, so which is above 87. So definitely this 120 is shown here as an outlier. Now similarly for the product C, where we are having 30 as the outlier, so this is the lower outlier value. So how it is considering this 30 as a lower outlier? So again, if we go back over here, calculated here, this lower outlier boundary is equal to quartile 1, or the lower quartile, minus 1.5 times the IQR. So in this example here, we are having this for product C, 73.75, that is the first quartile, and the upper quartile is 91.25. So that I have placed over here in this formula. So 73.75 minus 1.5 times the 91.25 minus 73.75. So this is the upper quartile, and the 73.75 the lower quartile. So we deduct it, and then finally we are getting here 47.5. So any value which is lower than 47.5, it will be considered as an outlier for the product C. So that is where here we are getting this 30 as a outlier for the product C. So this is how you are calculating the lower outlier value and the upper outlier value. This is how we can create a simple box and whisker chart. So please try to do the practice of it. So let us see in the next video how we can create a waterfall chart. Till then, thank you very much.